Howdy guys. I'm just waiting, so I just got a message from Jared who's joining us tonight. So I'll just send him through the link again. So we're really lucky to have Jared Walker on tonight. And he's going to share his experiences with us of learning in his business. And we've sort of chatted a bit about, what to bring to tonight's session. And it's really making sure that we continue to learn as oops, cancel. Sorry, just getting on tonight. That we continue to learn and build that into our DNA, I guess, as business owners. So, hey, Jared.
Hello, how you going?
Thank you.
I was having,
you worked it out.
yeah, I was having a full boomer moment. Not gonna lie, I was like, it's not working.
Facebook Live isn't the easiest, but no, thank you for joining us. You're on. It's good.
Thank you.
Righty,
guys.
Sorry, I'll just turn this up.
I heard you talking about something just then about me, and then
I was just padding time. No, it was just saying that we've spoken about how learning is just part of the job of being in business. Like we've just got to put ourselves out there to learn. So there's just some little reminders, I suppose, of things that we can do to do that better. So I've got some questions for you.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank you for coming on for our group. We may not get anybody on live, but I know that people watch it back in their own time, which is fine. But yes.
Hello, people from the future.
That's right. But why do you think that continuous learning or learning as a business owner is so vital and important for us as business owners?
Yeah, like in a roundup question, I think it's because things don't stay the same. To put it quite frankly, like there's always there's something new that you're going to have to adapt and learn to 24/7. Like me with my own business, like the introduction of AI with photo editing, as an example, I've just had to upgrade my computer today because it won't handle it anymore. So I've got to learn something all brand new all over again. It's just like, without a doubt, there are always going to be new challenges put in place by customer trends, et cetera, that you're going to have to learn and adapt to.
And that's it. And it can either be, like new technologies that you have to learn. So you're like, I can remember one of the first things I asked Kat was about, what's this highlights thing on Instagram? And I know she took me like a week to work it out. Like this is probably about 4 years ago. But I was just like, so I do a story and then I'd have to like link it to a highlight. Like it was just, but you learn and you get better at those things.
Yeah, exactly right. And like there's so many new things coming out. Like I don't know if you've seen, but for a lot of businesses out here, this will probably be beneficial. Carousels on social media are about to change.
Okay.
They've got new dimensions and white lines in between, and you can't do the drag across post anymore. And,
oh my God.
Yeah. So
I've just scheduled one for tonight.
I've just got the beta at the moment. But yeah, it comes out I think next year. So it looks really cool.
But again, but knowing that those things, there's always something that's going to come up, or even within 100%. Your industry, specific, or with, one of the things I was thinking about, with cafes and plastic straws and plastic cups and stuff. Yeah. It was like there's no if, ands, or but. You've actually got to get a solution for that really quickly. So there's always just going to be something, isn't there?
Yeah, there's always going to be something, and you just it's just about adapting. And I just take time to do a lot of reading or watch a lot of YouTube, I think, or listen to people on social media like we're doing right now.
Yep. And that's it. So how can you, I suppose we talk about, we've always got lots of things on the go and it's hard to prioritize learning, but how can we, or how have you found time to be able to do that and fit that into your day?
Yeah, that is an interesting one. It's like, as you would probably know with my industry, it's fight or flight. So you definitely have if I said that correctly, I always do the terms wrong. You have your busy periods and you have your slow periods. And for me, like last week, I did like a handful of photo shoots. I was out all week, but this week I'm at home editing. And something that I pull into my schedule is just I need something stimulating me in the background. So often I will have something that I'm interested in, whether or not it's learning about. I'm watching how to do 3D rendering at the moment because I think that's going to be valuable in the future, and just like listening to other people's opinions in the background. And
not like what I was doing, watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer while I was doing my work today.
Look, I can't lie, I have been definitely watching a few Christmas movies in between, and I'm not normally that type of person.
That's the thing, like and we need to have some of that downtime and relaxing time as well, don't we? So it's not sort of, you don't want to cram every bit of your time with either work or learning or self-development or whatever. It's you've got to make sure that if you've got time that you're going to do a little snippet here or there, that it's consciously done, because you want to get the most out of it, don't you?
Yeah, correct. Like I've definitely gone through periods where you do get burnout quite quickly because you've gone from this, like you can't absorb 90% of information. And I think when I was studying communications at uni, they would say this is like, for every 10 minutes that you read, you're only going to remember around about 3% of that. So and that's why they constantly teach you the same things over and over and over again.
That's
so
repetition, isn't it?
Repetition. And like, you're not going to get good at what you do straight away. It's about doing it over and over and over again.
And that's it, like that consistency. Like when I do notes about whether we're trying to form new habits or something like that with business or putting things into practice, it's like, just do it consistently. The more that we can do those small things over again, will create a much bigger, outcome. And I guess one of the hard things is, how would you decide what to focus your learning on? Because there's always things that may be like, oh, I'd love to learn how to paint or sculpt. Okay, but is that really important to my business right now?
Like that is something that's going through my head at the moment. I'm like, should I just become a painter instead of a photographer? Look, hell of a lot easier.
So how would you prioritize or work out where's most important to upskill?
Like I guess for me, I like my priorities are definitely with communication. So like reading and writing, I think are like fundamental to a business course. I'm always trying to do that. That's a longevity project. I've got I've been diagnosed with dyslexia, so I didn't even think I was ever going to go to university. But it's those short steps to get you to a better destination, using tools to be able to help you with that as well. So communication. And then I guess I look at it probably as a 3-tier with mine, is like clients. So learning about like what my clients want. And then like skill-based learning for me is like developing understandings of new techniques with photography. And then you go into like that, the post, after all of the photos have been done, is like the editing side of things. So it's like, how can I speed up my process by doing this, and what learnings do I need to take from someone else that's doing it in America that's doing it much quicker.
That's it. And all of those things are key to your number one income. I've got water. Although I am going to try and steal one of our last super dupers for dessert.
Sorry about that. I was like,
I could hear the kids go, but I want the purple one. No, I want the yellow one. As long as there's a cola one, I don't mind. I like cola. But they're all the key things that, I think you can say, look, if you aren't good at those 3 things, your business is going to be shit. So it's kind of like, whereas, maybe to a lesser degree is okay if you don't have a full understanding of all of your, finance is an important part, but again, it's not at that biggest impact where you can deliver on your, your service. It's always hard, isn't it? There's always going to be things fighting you for your priority to learn.
Yeah, like I guess like at the start of last financial year, something that was big for me because I was doing all finances manually, and I had to learn a new program like a client project manager through my website. It's all built into the same program called Pixie Set for photographers, and I guess like that was a big learning curve for me because when you're seeing new things and like there's like project managers in there, there's invoicing, there's everything in between, it can feel overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
And I remind clients all the time because I speak to a lot of people, like you don't need to have it all worked out initially. Like take it step by step, read what other people are doing, watch how other people are using it.
And also, if you're trying something new, you can always say, look, I've changed to a new thing. Just let me know if anything goes awry. Because most people are pretty, they're pretty understanding if you're relating to the right sort of people that understand you and your values. And you go, look, I've just changed over, or I'm learning this new technique. It should be fine, but let me know if anything pops up. You can get that feedback, can't you? And you can actually improve.
Well, that's exactly right. And I think like to give like some form of comparison is like I've just hired someone and Justin is doing some like part-time hours for me, and I've made him put that in the start of his emails with customers. It's like I'm still learning Jared's practices. Like bear with me if I get something wrong, I apologize. And Jared will let me know because he's seeing everything. But it's all about that learning process. It's not.
It's like, communicating and allowing people to learn because we're not professionals right out the gate, are we?
No, we're just humans, all trying to give it a go and make a living at the end of the day.
That's it. And one thing that is great that we learn and we can improve, how do you find then taking those learnings and implementing them? So say the things that you're learning now that you're reading about, whether it's AI or your 3D rendering, what would be your next steps then for when you need to implement those learnings? Because it's all well and good to learn it, but if we're not actually following it through into improving our business.
So like I have like it's not necessarily a succession plan but it is a business plan, but I have like quite rigid approach to these type of things. So for me, ultimately, I know that there is a goal out of learning these learnings. So in my instance, if it was to learn a new skill, it's like, okay, so what is a period for me that I want to be doing that with realistic timeframes? And then how can I then implement that through case study situation and then out to the general public, and trying to follow some form of like rough guideline with that. And I guess
that like a testing phase before you implement fully to your full sort of system.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess I can work with like many businesses as well. It's like someone want to bring out a new offer, or they're selling something that's different within their business. For instance, it's like, can you learn the most about that prior to trialing it with, let's say a new client comes in and you go, hey, I've got this new product. I'm not telling anyone about it. I do this all the time. Great sales trick. I've got this new product. We're going to give you a little bit of a discount to see how it goes, and then implement those learning practices to then be able to learn off of that. Because I feel like in my experience, sometimes in the past, I have just gone straight off the bat and gone, oh, I can do this. And then you learn, oh, there's a lot of mistakes, and it could actually negatively affect your business. So just like that beta kind of testing with clients as well.
Yeah. And I think that's, and following on from that, it's a really good way of approaching it as a system for any new learnings. Like I think that's what, you're describing there. So kind of going, okay, I may want to start, with a brand new hairstyle or something like that, but maybe I'll just test it out and see what the kids think first, and then maybe see what hubby thinks. If they go, no, not good, maybe you don't go out in public with it.
Just shave your head, much easier.
That's it. And so that's sort of like learning. So that, talked about business sort of or client feedback. Like that's really important, isn't it? But also, how have you found learning from other people in business, like that peer-to-peer learning, or what can be gained, I guess, from reaching out to other people in business?
Yeah, well, I'll do it all the time. Like, even I've given you a call and we've had chats about things, and I do it with a lot of people. I actually try to make a conscious effort every single day to have a chat with a business owner. I think it builds really good rapport with them and it makes you feel like they care. But also, like, I have my mentors. So I have about 3 mentors currently at the moment. And it can be challenging, but it's really important to have someone to give you an outside perspective. And then that can help you apply your learnings much further than what you've physically obtained through a digital platform or reading a book or a conversation with another business person. Having that mentors peer to peer, just like bringing that ultimate challenge. I think I would have never been where I am without it.
Yeah, and I think that's really good because a mentor can, usually there's someone who's sort of like a few steps ahead of you on a similar sort of path, aren't they? And I mean, they can be in different industries, but certainly to be able to have that, to reflect back, you can kind of go, oh, thinking about learning about this, or, or this is something I'm looking into. If you've got someone that can help you be accountable and go, do you know what, probably not a great thing to be looking at right now in your priorities. It's another sounding board, isn't it? Like, and that, and as you said, speaking to other business owners, because it's a really lonely journey. And if all you were getting your information from was YouTubes and podcasts, we have a very warped sense of what business is like.
Yeah, well, it's like my biggest thing is the get rich quick schemes that you see now on social media, and it's like, yeah, we're going to teach you all of these things. We've got a bulletproof plan, and it's just like, yeah, they're all driving around in Lamborghinis because you're buying them all of their courses. Yeah, it's not like a locally based
pyramid scheme.
Yeah, 100%. So, like, I would rather pay for learnings from, like, let's say Kat Crane to teach me one-on-one with social media, because I know it's gonna be physically there. And
also then it can be tailored to your situation as well, and you've got, because business is not a one size fits all.
It's not a McDonald's drive.
What do you need? What do you bring to the table with your skill set? What are your visions, your goals?
It's like all of those small things, and it's that's, I guess, like something that I was learning new when coming into business, especially from peers. Just to bring that back to that, is that you thought that it was a cookie cutter situation, and you learn quite quickly that each town has a different culture and a person is going to react differently to certain communication, etc., etc. So it's all learning.
See, and I think, and like to sort of like not tied all together, but kind of like we're talking about, it's lifelong learning, isn't it? So it's not just, in being human, we're all learning, but how you can be more, I suppose, proactive to set yourself up to be successful in business is adapting that interest, in learning. And I guess what would be maybe takeaways that you would suggest to people to help foster that?
For lifelong learnings, obviously I've had a big think about this one before answering this. So,
but thank you for thinking about it. That's
So,
like, there's no right or wrong answer.
No. So I'm going to give something that's a little bit more holistic. Lifelong learnings for me, as a creative, or anyone in business, I learned day by day through stuff ups and everything in between, and reflecting back on them and not taking them as an offense and continuing on with work, listening to peers, etc., gaining knowledge from different mediums altogether, but doing it in bite sizes so it's not overwhelming, and slowly but surely implementing it in your day-to-day lives and just taking it easy. But I guess like the biggest lifelong lesson for me with like making it manageable of learning is actually reading something that is completely different from your business. So I like to read, I've just finished reading a book called The Creative Active Way of Being by Rick Rubin, and I actually have on my wall, I put little notes, I've got things all over my walls. But one of the quotes for me is, the world isn't waiting for more of the same. And so I wrote that down, and for the meaning for me, that wasn't placed there on purpose either. The meaning for me behind this is probably the same as what we're talking about. It's like, I can take in all of this information, but the world isn't looking for the same thing, Jared. You've got to learn to adapt and make it manageable for you long term, and then apply it to your work. So long but short answer. Find things outside of your learnings of your work that are going to help you kind of slow down and take those other lessons in.
And I think, and like you said, that reflection time is, and yeah, like we spoke about that on one of our phone calls, is about, you know, giving ourselves, and I've learned to do this as well, is to, so for probably about 4 years, so just like around COVID or just before COVID and that, and I was just so busy, I just didn't do there was no self-development there, because I was just fight or flight mode and so overwhelmed up to my eyeballs. So to think about, oh, Shelley, would you want to listen to a podcast and just get in some inspiration? I was like, I don't have time for this. I got stuff to do. Like, I just was so on the go. So my practice has been to leave more space to be able to have some time to do that kind of, you know, interest in other things or learning, and then also some reflection time as well, because then if you can reflect on what you've learned, or say, oh, I was thinking about what Jared said the other day, and I think like things can happen there. Whereas if you don't allow space for that, I may have listened to what you said, but I actually haven't reflected, and I won't have implemented anything or put something, said, oh, maybe Jared might like to, you know, there might be something else there. You'll miss opportunities. You'll miss, you know, that action of being busy, like we talk about. And Kat's, you know, said, fuck the hustle. And I talk about hustle because I think small business owners are good at hustling, and we're good at doing lots of things when it's needed to, but I don't subscribe to hustling, because hustle burns you out and you're no good to anyone. But finding that space to be able to look and learn and listen and then reflect. And like we said about being consistent in doing those little actions consistently will add to big things.
It's like bite-sized appetizers. You go to a party at the end of the day and you're sitting there having drinks with your friends, and they bring around small bits of food and you think, oh, there's never going to be enough. But by the time they bring around the last plate, you're so full and you just don't want to touch it anymore. No. So just small little bites. That's all I say to people. It doesn't need to be big lessons. I do have a question for you. What is your lifelong way of managing solo entrepreneurship? I
think my lesson is to be kind to myself and go easy on myself, because I think there's a lot of things that want to be achieved, but I'm also doing the best I can with what I've got, and I'm enjoying, you know, I think I want to have I have hard days, but I don't have bad days. So from where I've come from, I had really bad days at work, in a toxic work environment, and I go, oh well, the last 5 or 6 years there's been hard days, but I'm also like, they're not bad. Like, that's fine. I'll take those, because I can work. You know, I can take the hard. But yeah, just being kind. I think we're all learning as we go, and we can only make better decisions and choices when we know better. You know, you kind of can hold yourself to a really high standard of, oh, I should have known that, I should know that, but really, again, we're human.
Yeah, we're not meant.
Human, you know. So I think we've just got to be kind to ourselves, and that's probably my lesson for me. I
like that. That's really good. Has anyone ever asked you questions before when you've been on the live? No. Yeah, I knew, that's why I wanted to do it. Right.
Awesome.
Do we have any more questions?
I think that was all I had. And I thought one thing that people might want to do is to just reach out within our group and maybe get in touch with somebody else that they may not have spoken to or messaged just to encourage a little bit of that, seek to understand, seek to, listen to learn, ask a question or say, hey, I love what you're doing. Because I think that would be pretty cool to just start using that connections within the community.
Yeah, like 100%. Like if anyone's watching this and they just want to ask a question or if they're unsure about something, feel free to leave a comment down below or shoot me a message on Instagram, Jared Walker Photography. Spelled with an ED, not an AD. Please don't spell it with an AD. Don't do a Shelley. Don't do a Shelley and send me an email with an AD. No, I'm joking. But yeah, like we're all here at the end of the day, and I think this is what this group is majorly about. Can't speak right now. It's just about helping other people in business.
That's it. But no, thank you so much for your time, Jared, and for all your preparation in coming on today.
My million phone calls.
No, you're all good. And yeah, we'll chat again soon.
All right. Sounds good. Bye.
Thanks, Jared.
I don't know how to end this, but bye.
See you. Bye.